everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get going. Just want to get my stuff out of the way. Uh-oh. I warped. Whoa, what is happening? Yikes. Okay. We'll try not to make that happen too often. Okay, what's going on? Hopefully that won't keep happening. What's going on here? Let's, me and DTM, we're having the camera problems today. Sheesh. Okay, that's not jumping as much anymore. Okay, let's see if that doesn't stop doing that. All right, hello everybody. I see we have Keys online, which is great. Hues, nice to see you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. We are here with the snake charmers again. We were working on these last week. Yeah, I think we've shifted now. I think we're okay. I bumped it earlier, so I think it's just me and the physics. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. If not, if it does, we'll shift it. We'll figure it out. All right, so we are back here with the snake charmers. And as you can see, I've finished up doing the highlights and the shadows on the snakes themselves. I started doing the coloring on the bandanas and everything on our lovely snake charmers. However, I watched a bit of a time lapse on the original cards, the cats, and then the fortune teller. And I had completely forgotten that I did a completely different way of painting these illustrations in having, instead of doing light and shadow on each individual piece, I was doing darks on darks, lights on lights. And I completely forgot about this. I did not do this on Prospero. I'm really happy with how he is though, so I'm gonna just leave him as he is. Maybe that'll be like a major arcana approach or something, we'll see. But I completely forgot that I did a different style than I did for the dragon and the kraken. So I got about this far into these, and when I realized this, I worked on this last night and got this far and realized that, oops, I had forgotten the style that I established for these cards. Good to catch it early. But I think it'll really lend really well to do the other way. So I'm going to keep these layers just in case I decide that I want to go this way. But we're going to start the coloring of the bandanas over again, and I'm also going to redraw the lines, because if we recall when I did the kittens in the girl's hair, it was more smooth lines instead of all straight lines, which are like this here. They'd be more curvy lines, which I also think would lend really well here to having more curved lines. So we're going to draw those back in, draw new ones, and then we're going to do the highlights and shadows on the bandanas. Now, I did think about changing it for the snakes, but I think we have a pretty cool like glowy effect with these. I think it would be cool. The lines are all really straight, kind of in contrast to the smoothness of a snake, but I think it's giving us kind of a cool reptilian effect. So I think I'm just going to leave them rather than redo them. I might pop in with like a main overall highlight or shadow later. I'm just going to leave them as they are for right now though, because I think they're looking pretty magical. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put the lines back in. So we're going to switch this to a black brush, and we're going to go back to our vector, and our hierarchies are at 2 points. What does it matter? Are we sad guy? Do you want to see the peoples? Mojo wishes to say hello. There's Mojo. So we're going to pop these guys back in. Say hi, bud. Look, everybody's saying hi to Mojo. You say hi? Hey, Spook. Let's pretty hot here, so we just came inside because it was a little roasty outside for a little guy with a fur coat on. Okay, you want to just sit there? Chill out. Thank you. Oops. Oh no, nuts. That did work. Alessandra's here. Hello, Alessandra. Thank you for tuning in. We're adjusting the snake charmers a little bit. I forgot a style choice that we initially made. And luckily I went back and watched a time lapse today and saw that I made a different style decision to make these a little flowier and stuff. And then, so we're just making that adjustment. Wild how color looks different from the iPad to the screen. Definitely. And I think like the one that you're seeing in the bottom left is a little like, it's glowing a little brighter than what what I'm actually looking at. It looks a little bit more like the main screen, but yeah, it is different to see to see how different these surfaces can be. You okay, bud? I'm over here melting. It's so hot. I was just saying as you signed on that we were just outside because and Mojo's pretty roasty because it's pretty warm here as well. It's pretty hot. Alright, okay, yeah, liking how this is coming together. I'm about to eat my 10th ice cream bar. Oh my goodness. I just ate one, but I only have one left, so I couldn't eat 10. That would be nice. No shade when it's hot outside. Let's try that again. It's non-dairy. It's not my 10th, but it's not my first. Hilarious. Yeah. I don't think the calories and stuff count when it's hot outside, so I think you're all set if that's something you're worried about. All right. So just for those of you who were here last week and that are just tuning in, we're making a small adjustment to the lines that we initially had on these guys. They looked like this initially, straight lines, which is usually how I've been doing my stained glass pieces. But I forgot that I made the decision to have these be a little bit more flowing. And then I was highlighting, like on the snakes you can see, I was highlighting and shading each section, which I also forgot I had decided not to do on these illustrations. I was just kind of giving the sections a full shade and highlight section, and then kind of highlighting and shading according to those sections, which we'll do in a second. It'll make sense in a minute. But the reason why I decided that was because these are exported at such a small size. They're going to eventually be like a 2x3, that I worried putting all of the highlights and shadows on each individual section was going to be too much. So I opted to do that and then immediately forgot. I did it for the fortune teller and I did it for the kittens. I just watched the time lapses earlier today. So they're good to go. I didn't do it for Prospero, but I'm not going to redo him. I think we're okay. He's got enough going on that he doesn't need a redo there. But this one will fix, and then I haven't done the shading or the highlights on the other one, the girl in the chair that I've been showing you. So I'll implement this on that card as well. Watermelon Italian ice. Ooh, strawberry fruit ones. I love it. Delicious. Mine was just chocolate covered vanilla ice cream, which was delicious. It had almonds on it. It was awesome. I'm always all about the ice cream, but really about it right now, for sure. When my sister lived down in South America for a bit, I went to see her, and it was their spring or closer to their winter, I guess, when I was there. And we would go for ice cream because we always wanted ice cream. And everybody there, all her roommates and landlord thought we were crazy for eating ice cream when it was like 17 degrees outside. It's like, no, but it's perfect ice cream weather. We got to do it. Okay. So that's all fixed up. And now I'm going to toss in another multiply layer here. And we're going to get, okay, we already have our soft. He says, I'd love to visit South America. Would strongly recommend. I really enjoyed it. When I visited her, we traveled, and we were in Chile and Peru. Strongly recommend. Yeah, I'd like to see more of it as well. It was different from what I was expecting, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I thought it was going to be awesome, but it was just a little bit different than I was expecting, and I was so happy that I went. So, okay, so here's what I'm going to go into what we were describing a second ago, is we're going to make these treat them like big sections and throw in a big shadow and a big highlight, and then we're going to do the finer details. I'm just going to try and decide here what that breakdown is going to look like. So instead of individually here, iPad stand is slipping, losing control. There we go. I don't think my brush is big enough. There we go. Oh, one of these kind of extreme, but alright, get some edges sorted here. Treat this section like its own as well. I'm really excited to finish this card and then the girl is sitting in the chair, because then I'm going to get started on the border. I'm very excited to see these come together. It'd be super rewarding to just finish one of these and click it into the border as the final. Oh, I'm so excited. And then we'll do this whole section here. What I should have done, it's too late now, is thrown the highlight in at the same time. Silly. That's okay. No, let's just try that one again. Sandra says, hi to do Erin, sigh, being an adult is tiring lately. That to-do list, I tell you, I feel the same way lately, Alessandra. That to-do list is out of control. Good Lord. Why can't the dishes do themselves? I did food shopping at 8 a.m. because it used to be too hot. Yeah, no, that's a good call. It's also, I don't know if it's like this where you guys are, but in COVID and pandemic, when I was working from home more regularly, I'd go to the grocery store before I started work, at 7 a.m. It was the best time to go to the grocery store. There was no one there. If you went in the middle of the week, a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it was awesome. In and out, full cart of groceries. And that was the way to go. Oh, back to the iPad versus screen. Keith says the reason the camera feed is that's on the iPad is so brightly colored is because the phone does some auto correction. That makes sense. That makes sense because it is brighter than what I'm looking at as well. But it shows that I just like to show the interaction with the iPad itself to show that because I was finding I was talking with my hands a lot and like pointing at the screen, but no one could see what I was talking about. So I think it was DTM. He was doing Dan was doing a live stream, and he had this view up, or a view of showing how his hands worked. It was a few weeks ago, so I gave it a shot. It's nice. It was a great idea. I thieved it. Thanks for coming to my stream, Erin. I hope you got cleaning tasks done. I did. Thank you, Alessandra. Your stuff's looking really good. So fun to catch it. I felt bad on Saturday. I was almost able to catch it, but I went out just before you started streaming. I was like, no, I forgot. And I missed DTM stream today. Yeah, if you can find it, go check it out. I was able to watch it like a little bit at work today, just stream it while I was working. And it was awesome. He did like a full painting in like an hour and a half. Like physical, like acrylic painting. It was delightful. See if you can find it, because it was awesome. I just wanted to like leave work and come home and paint. Yeah, I'm glad I had some tasks that, like, usually like if I have not a lot of reading or something to do at work, I'll listen to music or something, but I was able to mostly listen to his stream, which was really great. Yeah, it was really cool. I thought he was just gonna do like the outline, like he was doing a canvas for the art show that he's doing, or like in the art space that he's been working in lately. And I thought he was gonna do the outline and then eventually color it, but no, he was like, oh, we're all finished, this is all done. And it was awesome. Would recommend. I've been feeling a bit discouraged about painting, to be honest, but having some fun with the watercolor, it's my favorite. Yeah. I find, like, with some things, like, especially painting, like watercolor and acrylics and things, I'm not in it as frequently all of the time. I know in the pandemic, I had, like, a canvas set up, so I was able to kind of dig into that a little bit. And then with some of the early gnomes, I was doing some watercolor and things. But because I'm in such a small space, I don't have it set up as often. So I'm usually in between, like there's usually kind of a gap in between when I'm painting frequently. So when I pick it up, Alessandra, where I'm going with this is when I pick up my painting, there's kind of a bit of a learning curve each time to kind of refamiliarize myself with the process, because I've been so digital, or like I'm in my markers or things that are a little bit easier that don't take up as much space. So I hear that sometimes. I'm actually working on a painting right now for a fundraiser in a couple weeks, and I was getting back into my groove a little bit there, but I was in that middle zone, kind of like, oh, I don't know how this is going to come together. I don't know if it's going to do what I want it to do, but it's pulling through. So you've got it. What you had yesterday was really great. That alligator was awesome. All right, so we'll get this in here, and then we'll get the highlight in here. New. Oh, branching into photography. Got a new iPhone. Nice. I'm a little worried I'm going to be forced into a new phone soon. I'm the technology user who runs her technology until it just gives up on her. So, that's what I'm doing right now with my phone. Don't quit on me. I need you. That's exciting though. There's some pretty fancy ones out there right now. Alright, we'll get into the overlay layer. I don't know why I switched it to multiply there. And then we will do, I don't think I have a highlight color yet. I don't. Okay, so let's pick one. I still haven't done my library for this with swatches and things. Which I probably should do at some point. That's what we want. Okay. Just so that and the reason why I say that is because this has got, it would probably be nice to have these shadows and things a little bit more consistent. I think because I use the palettes from the paper patterns, I think we're okay. But it'd be nice to have kind of like an actual style guide or something. Maybe next month we'll work on something like that. Ooh, the 3 lenses, fancy pants. Yeah, that'll be super fun. Oops. Okay. Oh, I love how this color looks over the red. It gives it that glow effect, which I'm super stoked about, considering it's like stained glass. Love it. Gonna draw on your iPad too. Let's do it. Let's draw together. I'm in. Trying to explore my style more and rebrand my brand. Very cool. Yeah. It's funny, I was actually talking about that today with a coworker. We both went to the same school. We were both different years, but we went to the same school around the same time. And she was talking about going to see some of her fellow students this upcoming weekend. And I said, oh, that'd be really cool. I said, I miss the studio time, because we would, it was art school, and we would just kind of live in the studio all the time and just be creating and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I miss doing that. I said, it would also be interesting to try the projects again. Now that I have kind of more of a style. Like, I didn't draw like this at all when I was at school. Actually, I think the person I was in school would be shocked to find out that I love digital art, because I really struggled with Photoshop for a long time to try and figure out how to make it work in a way that I was comfortable with using it. So it would be interesting to kind of revisit and see. So like Alessandra, you're saying exploring your style and everything. I think there's that's a really good exercise, I think, but also something that I think we all worry about a lot, when you'll just kind of get to it at some point. I think we stress about kind of forcing it almost. So I just say, don't be discouraged. I think you're going to do great, and you have a really very distinct style. But the exercise that you're doing in trying to explore your style and rebranding and stuff, that was a big exercise for me last year and the year before, working on it. So that'll be really fun for you. That'll be a really good exercise. I hope it's really great. Key says, past Aaron, who are you? A little bit, yeah. No, the Photoshop struggle was real. Luckily, my parents are super awesome and helped me find some courses. I know my mom was able to help me find a summer course in Photoshop through some of the connections she had at work, and just kind of the different software that was there. So they were able to help me and get me on the right track, and I had some professors and teachers who were really patient with me. But yes, past me would be floored at the artwork I'm currently doing, which is cool. It means we're growing. I like that. But it's the branding exercise is a lot of fun, because like once I knew I had I explored a lot of different things, and I think eventually the logo clicked, or something clicked, and I forget what it was, and then I could build off of that. I think the style helped me a little bit with the paper patterns in my brand colors and stuff, and it's just kind of fun to watch it grow, because there's not a point A to point B, I found anyway, to get where you want to go. So that'll be a fun exercise, Alessandra. I hope that you enjoy that. That'll be really cool. Might discover new things too, which is really cool. Look at that magical glow. I love it. Okay. Let me make sure that this actually works. Sounds like your past self would instead appreciate the growth and progress. I think so too. I think it's always something that's a fun process, something that I've always enjoyed experimenting in. So, but I think there would have been a shock factor for sure. Alrighty. So let's, for no reason, duplicate this and clear the layer just so I don't have to multiply it for no reason. Alright, we're going to bring the brush down to a 50-ish, just to break it a little smaller. And we're going to put this on here, and we're going to put the shadows on. So this is the mistake I made earlier, and not really a mistake, just what I'm remedying here. I'm going to throw some shadows into the shadow section and highlights into the highlight section for each little piece so that there's not too much information on each piece, confusing it, because like I mentioned, for those of you who are newer to the stream tonight, these are going to be a 2x3 really tiny piece in the end, so I don't want too much information cluttering these guys. And this is the darker section of the shadow, so I think it's not showing up a lot, but I think this will really help the look along. If I don't put it in, it might look a little off, so I don't want it to look incomplete or like an accident not putting those in. Says, I realized I really love animals, and my things is to draw animals, and I was like, why can't I just draw animals and characteristics to them? Go for it. And add characteristics to them. Go for it. It's like, I think finding your style and your energy is kind of, I don't think there's any one way to do it. Like, I've been trying to see if I could pin it down and kind of like guide people. And I don't think there is. Like, I just kind of explored a bit of digital work. This is not what I wanted. A bit of digital work in the pandemic, and then ended up doing like the Behance Beauties, which kind of blend into this style, which kind of bled into the Kraken, like the dragons, and the stories and the stained glass meshing. And it's just, if you go with what you're interested in, I think you're on the right track, Alessandra, with like what you like doing and what interests you. Follow that. I think will always get you at least in the right direction. You may go really far and end up not being near animals at all, or you'll probably be doing animals because you're a really great animal illustrator. But yeah, I think that my best direction for anybody who's ever asked me about like style and anything, I'm just like, follow the interest, follow what piques your interest, what excites you, what kind of is like, huh, that's intriguing, and then just marinate on it for a minute and see where that takes you. You never know what'll come of it. You sound like you're on the right track, though. Are you going to do some of that on your live stream? Some of your brand exploration? I'm not certain that I was really doing much live streaming when I was doing my brand stuff. I don't think so. I know I didn't live stream any of it. Probably should have. That would have been fun. Yeah, I know how to draw other things like people and stuff, but I don't like it as much. That's fair. Yeah, like I'm not a huge landscapes person. Doesn't really interest me as much. So, you know, go with what's interesting and exciting. I could draw a landscape. Maybe I'll draw a stained glass landscape one day. Who knows? But definitely go with what's interesting. You'll be more likely to stick with it. It's always my thing. It's supposed to be fun. What are you doing? Hi. Okay, we'll see this come together when I start putting the highlights on it. Wobbly. Come on. Ooh, you're gonna fall off the chair. Oh goodness. You almost fell, bud. Okay. He's got his face right in the fan of the air conditioner. He's over this heat too. The area I live in is having this comic book film, July 20th. I'm low-key excited. It'll be at an old theater like the ones back in the day. That's cool. Okay, so Keys is saying, Chris, oh no, Georgines said that Spotlight earlier on live said something akin to learn everything there is to learn about a particular subject, turn back and take a left. Yep, that's key. I love that because I did it right the first time. They said that in school quite a bit. They'd be like, you have to learn all the rules first, like how to draw hands and how to draw feet and how to draw proportions and stuff, and then they're like, then bust it all. They're like, it just, knowing the background knowledge gives you a little bit more credibility in breaking all those rules. Learn it all and then make it your own. I love it. Yeah, learn the rules so you can avoid them. Yeah, learn the rules and then just make them work for you. But it's good to learn the background of where something comes from and to see how you can use it for yourself. Learn how software works and then make it work for you. Because like I learned how to Photoshop worked in very many different ways, and I use Illustrator all the time. So when I was learning Fresco, I used my knowledge from both those softwares and kind of just asked myself the whole time. I taught myself Fresco and was like, can it do this? Can it do this? Can it do this? And I've just pushed it into this style. But I used what I learned from the software that started this, that kind of fed into a lot of the tools on this and went from there. So yeah, learn all you can about it and then bust all those rules. Oops, this is what I want. No, not what I wanted. I lied. I told a lie. Oops. Oh, la 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 la. Oops. Okie dokie. We're almost done this, and then we'll do the highlights, and then we'll see if we can do something exciting. Hello. Ugh, too cold. Alexander says, I also started taking some online classes on digital drawing because it's been 2 years not doing anything. And I've forgotten some stuff. Always great to refresh. I love that idea. And I always like, especially with things like digital art and technology, there's new tools all the time. So it's always good to just kind of like revamp your skills and see what's going on. Like my master's degree focused on user interface design. And I took a user interface mini course last year before, just to kind of refresh on it and see what else is out there, new tools. And there's a whole pile of new tools that I would have loved when I was writing my thesis. They didn't exist then. Always good to keep your skills up to date and see what's going on and see what's new. That's why I like watching the lives, because I like to see how people are pushing the software to do different things. So cool. Cartooning, inking, and coloring was just the same. Yeah, like I think even if you have skill, like techniques, like you can learn how to put watercolor onto paper. But I think if you explore everybody's different styles and different approaches to things, I think you still can learn like a lot. Like how people put down the paint on the canvas, what mediums they use, how they use it, if it's mixed media, if it's pure oil, acrylic, whatever it is. I think there's still lots to learn from what people are doing, and again, learn all those rules and then make them your own. Don't copy their style, but make it your own, which is so fun. No worries. And there's a lag too, Keys. Sorry, I type very slow. It's like, no, there's a lag as well. So I'm probably answering a question that's already being asked or something in the middle here. But yeah, I think there's lots to learn and expand on, so never hurts to feed the brain a little bit. Duplicate layer, clear layer. We'll switch over to our light brush again. Oh, let's just try that again, shall we? Just a whole section in here. Okay. Oh dear, let's just try that again. Enough. Oops. Key says that's what the point of the study art sessions in art school, literally copying other artists and gaining experience so it could be transformative work. Yeah, we did that in high school. We did like imitate an artist's style. I chose Jackson Pollock and it was the most fun. Would recommend. But yeah, just learn from what they do, how they put the canvas, the paper, sorry, the medium down on the surface, and all that kind of stuff, and see how it works for you. Like I know, I like to see. I don't want to imitate somebody else's style, but I like to see how they're doing certain things. Like, you know what, I want to apply that to my piece. That's kind of how I built some of my style, is being like, you know what, that really works for me. I like that. I'll apply that here. Or how you applied that brush or whatever else, like that color, layering, whatever else. Oh, I didn't know the software could do that. Let's see how I can leverage that. So yeah, learning all that is such a great idea. Because I do like mixed media. I do want to like do collages and paint and all that kind of stuff, but I need to set that all up. I need a big space to do all that. Oh no, Alessandra says, iPad gave me a message that I'm running out of space and need to make some space. I'm doing that now. What a buzzkill. I hate when that happens. I know it's an activity that needs to happen, you know, clean up the files, take some stuff off the camera, tape, all that kind of stuff, but like when you're in a groove or you're ready to draw or something, what a buzzkill. Way to go, iPad. Sheesh. No fun. Oh, look at it glow. It's fantastic. It's coming together, guys. Whoops. I know, right? No respect. You gotta respect the process, iPad. Come on, man. Sheesh. It was like yesterday. I was just watching TV and I was working on this a little bit, and I just wanted to do like a couple sections before bed. I wasn't going too crazy, and it's warm here, and I had like, because my air conditioner's on, I had like a blanket on my lap, and the iPad was sitting on it, and mine tends to heat up if it's like lying on a fabric surface like that for too long, and so it was starting to glitch out on me. It was like, we'll continue charging when we have the iPad's cooled to a normal temperature, and it was just like glitching and jumping all over. I was like, I just want to draw the pictures. This looks great. Thank you, Alessandra. I love it. I love when this comes together. I know I've seen this kind of like happen many times, see the stained glass build, see how the overlay works, but I'm just like living for it the whole time. I'm impressed it comes together each time, to be honest. Okay, so we'll do this other side. Sorry, my little victory dance. I'm loving how this is coming together. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Now I've been working through these cards and working on this style, which does kind of speed the process up a little bit because I'm not kind of doing that, will this work, will that work as much, but that's more kind of in the sketching, drawing phase. A little bit of trial and error, like in the Prospero card that we did before, trying to figure out those different see-through layers and see how that was going to work. So there's definitely elements of trial and error and research and stuff here, but having some of the style kind of nailed down, it does make things quicker, but also makes me want to like get to that next step even faster. Like I finished off the snake highlights yesterday, and I wanted to do the I wanted to go right to like the sticker outlines and everything and kind of get those shadows and stuff in. I was like, that is like 7 steps down the road. Don't do that now because you're gonna have to fix it or adjust it. Like, don't do it now. Just trust the process. Shh, trust the process. He says, I had studied the design path at university, but the school had an art path as well. It was nice going to some of their courses. Yeah, that's always really cool. Like when I was at school, it was definitely an art school. And I was in the illustration stream, which had technical and interpretive at the time. They don't have that anymore. It's a little more self-guided. You can kind of make your own courses and things, which is cool for the artists. Not great for me because my work hires technical illustrators specifically, so we're harder to find now. Great for me, job security, I like it. But yeah, we were also in the school, like in the same hallways and stuff and rooms as like the animators, and different different kind of artists and stuff throughout, like even some more of the handmade work, so the pottery and textiles. Ceramics is the word I was looking for. I was like, the ones who make the pots. Ceramics, textiles, glass blowing, all that kind of stuff. So that was really fun to be amongst all those different kinds of creative people, which was really cool. So yeah, being in that space is so fun. So no matter what stream you took, you got in to see what everybody else was doing. And I also did like the tours at the school. Like I was part of the group that did tours for new students coming in. So I got to look into like some insights into some of the other classes and what those courses needed and all that kind of fun stuff. I just wanted to do one of each program. Must be creative all the time. Okay, no, do not jump, please. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, you go, sit down. You be a nice boy, please. Okay. Good timing. My legs are asleep. Okay, there we go. All right, I think, oops. This is our last section, I think. Then we can see how it's coming together. Nope, that's absolutely not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. Nope, leave the neighbors be, please. You nice boy. Leave them alone. Thank you. Good job. On your bed, please. During high school, I took all the art drawing classes. The teacher kept saying, "Oh, you're back." Yes, I want to draw all the time. I don't understand. Is there a problem? Yes, I'm back. All right, check it out. Oh, fantastic. Now, I'm really liking how this style is kind of like branching out a little differently in each card. So I'm going to explain what that means in a second. Like we have these big sections, so like the face and the body, they're going to be treated kind of like the little belly bits, like we've done on the other cards, where they're just going to have kind of the splatter. They're not going to do the highlights and the shadows in the same way because it's just one big section. So there's not as much stained glass in this one. We have just kind of a couple sections here. It won't be boring because we're still going to do that kind of sticker cutout situation, but we'll have the splatter giving the shadow on the arms and on the pants as well. Maybe I might, no, I'll leave it. I was going to stained glass the pants maybe just to give it different, but I think it's going to be like a full one suit. But what I'm getting at with the differences are, we've only got like a couple patterns. Nope, that's not what I wanted. It's a mojo. So we have Prospero here, but there's only like a couple patterns in the snake charmers. This one has all the patterns. I was to the point where I was actually worried that I've done too many. Like I feel like there's so many patterns in here. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you count the background. There's a lot in here. But like we'll be able to pull it together and everything, but it's all the same patterns. It's going to be painted the same way, like in the same shadows and highlights, different sections and stuff that have stained glass and which ones that don't. So I'm liking that there's still a really good variety. When I set down this style, it's still going to have a good variety for us to work with. Hues says it was also nice because the particular design path I took was the only one that had digital. It was funny when later I had encountered former colleagues asking for help with digital things. That happened with us as well. So I was in the technical stream of illustration, and we learned a lot of Illustrator, Photoshop, different 3D software, Flash at the time, different things like that, and a lot of technology. But the interpretive side did not learn any. So I think that's kind of why they've changed it to what they have now, in that it's like a mixed stream, because they also had like how to do infographics and information illustrations, which would have been helpful for us as well. So yeah, like there's opinions on both sides that they wanted to have that kind of learning experience as well. So yeah, you want to have a good mix, especially like when we were going into school. Digital was becoming a thing. I think it'd be really hard to be purely digital right now, especially if you're going to go into like an industry. You got to have a little bit of digital to help yourself out a bit. Alrighty, so this is coming together. I like it. So I think our next step would be we're gonna have to put in some of the shadows. So this will be a bit tricky. And the shadows I'm talking about are the ones that are turned off and on here. So those are the heavy shadows. Whoops! What do you mean the live stream has ended? I don't think so. That's weird. Facebook keeps telling me I'm finished. I'm not finished. Okay, we're fixed. So these big dark shadows here is what I'm talking about. No, we're all good, Keys. I think this one worked fine. The stream on my Facebook said it was over, and it's not. If you can hear me when you're on Facebook, just refresh. You'll be fine. So the next step is going to be these big dark shadows, but they're going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm going to have to like kind of go slow and process it, because we're going to have some shadows that are going to be on the red, which will be in kind of a brown color. And then the ones that are over top of the gray, they're going to be in black and white. So that's going to be a bit of a trippy mess. So for example, this one, although I can show you what I've been, one thing I've kind of described but not shown yet. I can use the same brush, I think. I just have to remember to switch layers. So this brush I have is the one that I've been using for the low lights on like all day today, and it's like that brown reddish color. But I have the layer selected below the hue saturation adjustment layer. So when I put it on here, it's going to come in as a dark gray. But if I put it up on this layer here, it's a brown. So let's do a bit of a contrast here. Same brush, but because one is below and one is above that adjustment layer, we're going to have a difference in the color that is output. So it won't be too much changing on my part. I was thinking at first that I was going to have to switch between different colors of brushes. I can keep the same one. It'll just be a matter of remembering to switch layers. We have Amin. Hello. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're almost done, unfortunately, for today, but you can see what we're working on. We are working on the next card in the tarot deck. So I think that will be my next plan. We're also going to have the splatter mixed. So I think I have, do I not have that on a layer somewhere? Oh, I put it on the same layer. That's why. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Silly. Nope, nope, not even a little bit. There we go. So the next level of shading, we'll be getting that kind of splattered mix, dark low light put into place. On each of these sections, and then we'll go in and put those heavy shadows onto all of our layering, and then we're gonna get into the sticker look, all that fun stuff. So I'm very excited to keep going with that. I'm gonna actually undo some of this because that was a little aggressive. So still lots of work to do here. I do have a busy week ahead. Not sure how much I'll get done before the next stream, but I'm kind of hoping that I might get to a spot where I could do maybe the borders next week. Oh, sorry, Amin has a question. I'm in Adobe Fresco on the iPad right now. To find out more, you can go onto the Adobe website. You can use it for free. I forget which features are free and which ones are not, unfortunately. I have a paid subscription on mine. But check it out. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to come up with something exciting for next week to work on, because next Monday I have been streaming for 2 full years. It's the Hues and Tones stream birthday next week. So I don't know if we're going to work on the border. I don't know if we're going to do a 2-hour stream. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to do something crazy though. But we're going to do some art on the live stream. So that's, we're going to do some art in the live stream tomorrow, next Monday. I don't know. Oh, Alessandra's going to bring cake. Excellent. I love cake. So it will be 2 years old this stream on Monday. So we'll probably be working on the tarot deck a little bit more, but I'm going to ponder something exciting to work on, see what we're going to bring. I'd like to work on the borders a little bit, maybe work on that and see if we can't get a card finished maybe on the stream. That would be awesome. But I am going away this weekend, so I'm not going to put too much on my plate. I'm going to relax a little bit while I'm away. But I think I'm going to let everybody go for now. Keys, Alessandra, Amin, everybody else who's been on the stream, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm not exaggerating. This is one of my favorite parts of my week, to be here in the studio for you guys. I'm going to go work on this a little bit more. I'm very excited to see some of this pull together, get these shadows pulling through, and I'm excited to put the sticker layer on the snakes. I think it's going to make them really pop. I kind of want them as a sticker all on their own. It'll be so great. Key says, I'm still astonished these streams existed. There's lots to go back and watch if you want. Thanks for the stream, everybody. Excited to see the final of this. Me too. I'm so stoked. I will, yeah, so thank you again, everybody. You're the best. I hope you all have a great week and a great weekend. Alessandra just said so in the Behance. Same to you. And I will catch you all next Monday. Keep an eye on the stories on Instagram and Facebook. If I do a 2-hour stream, I'll give you a heads up that that's happening. I'll ponder something exciting. Maybe I'll have some balloons or something. We'll see. Have a great week, guys. Thanks again. Talk to y'all soon.